What is up, everyone? I am back here with another comic book review. Today I've got Daredevil Issue 29, Legacy numbering 641. I can't wait to show you this comic. I loved this book. I really did. I read some not very good books a little bit ago, reviewed them on the channel. I needed this. Then this came along and oh, it's so satisfying. It's so good. I'm sometimes worried. I bounce back and forth between worrying for Chip Zdarsky, writing like really stringing us along, writing like he's got guaranteed work forever. And I don't think writers should do that. They should always make all their books count and seem very full. And Chip Zdarsky is just telling this story, and it's this great character work. His character work on these guys is awesome. I'm digging this book. Great art by Marco Checchetto. I'm really loving this. And for all of you being like, oh my gosh, I'm just watching this and he's saying nothing but good things about this comic. It's like, yeah, watch my latest reviews. I needed this. So basically the last issue ended with Matt in the prison sitting down with Marcus, and he could taste that he's been poisoned. I like this thought bubble here. I just had one bite, but my heightened senses of taste pulls apart the ingredients, and there's one there that's wildly off. Hopefully I'd have to eat more than one bite for it to be fatal, but still. His crooked guard leads him outside, and he goes out to purge out whatever poison he hasn't absorbed, and then he sees all these other prisoners walking toward him, getting ready to try and clean his clock, basically. I love the rain. It definitely creates the mood that they needed for this scene, kind of the dire situation. Going back into Hell's Kitchen, we got Elektra. She's training that little girl she saved a couple issues, and she's just fighting her, or like training her, giving some reasoning why she's helping her out. And the girl's being very honest. She's like you could have helped anyone, why me? And she basically explains it like, hey, you can be either strong or weak in this world. And one time I was like you, and I got strong, so I can help make you strong. And Elektra is very cynical. That's just who she is. And now she's trying to be a teacher, and she's just trying to help the way she can. So it's very interesting to me. Cut to this, her fighting crime in the city, going through the air. That is such a great shot. Really good look at her costume. She looks great. One of the best costume redesigns of late. I love the size, being all blunt so she can chuck them at people like Daredevil. She's filling in the role as Daredevil very nicely while Matt is in prison. This is great. It's not forced at all. It's not lame. I'm digging this. Usually DC is really good at making a new character, pre-existing character, take up the mantle of someone else. Marvel sometimes drops the ball and it feels forced. This doesn't. This works. This is awesome. She foils these two very young-looking crooks who work for Izzy Libris, who's been appointed as the new Kingpin by Wilson Fisk. Chucks a sigh at this guy's nose, breaks it. This guy shoots at her and she blocks it with the sigh. I was like, what? She can't do that. It's like, Daredevil can do that. Daredevil has heightened senses. Daredevil has a radar sense. She can't do that. That's insane. With a bullet, a tiny bullet that she can't see or hear, that's pretty impressive that she can block that. And it's probably going to be someone in the comments being like, oh my gosh, Elektra can do that. She's a highly trained, super combative ninja assassin. Yeah, I know. I just don't think she could block a bullet. That's a little much for me to buy. Even the little girl comes down here and goes, that was amazing. And I was like, yeah, it was. I'm getting along here, getting back into the prison. Oh my gosh, I love this scene so much. So he just kind of meditates while the guards are walking toward him. He's taking all the extra time he can get. He's talking about how this is a trick that Stick taught him. Stick, the one who trained him to fight. Saying that poison does one of two things. They work by either speeding up functions of your body or slowing them down. I need to quickly regulate and purge, level out my heart rate and my breathing. That is what Stick taught me, but Foggy taught me something as well. Gets into this really great story. I'm just going to read it for you. There was a night in first year together, coming back from the bar, when we came across some local tough guys, drunk and looking for a fight. They started taunting us, cracking knuckles, when an inebriated Foggy took matters into his own hands. He started dancing. The tough guys were completely confused. One of them muttered something about him being crazy, and they ambled off, leaving Foggy to dance alone. I know these guys won't wander away, but I'm hoping me meditating is like dancing and gives them just enough of a pause to heal myself. I remember Foggy's slurred words as we kept on toward our dorm that night. You can't punch a dancing man. So let's dance. I was like, damn, that is so cool. This is such a cool picture. Kind of a long story to get to that awesome punchline, let's dance. That Johnny Cage punchline, let's dance. And it's a classic. I love that stuff. That is so comic booky. I really love in that moment he is using that diversion tactic, the meditating, to distract his enemies but also heal himself. But then he just takes it a step further and says, let's dance, kind of in remembrance of Foggy. I love that. That was so good. Okay. And then cutting back to over here, really balanced kind of subplot stuff with the characters. Izzy Libris talking to Butch and kind of explaining why she's picking him to be like her lieutenant, her second in command instead of her son. And kind of getting weird over here when she's like super old. But then it gets to Mike Murdock, who is Matt Murdock's twin brother. He's currently posing as Matt Murdock while he's in prison right now. And he's working with Butch. This is kind of their plan, sneakily, to take over crime in Hell's Kitchen. And then it cuts to Kingpin, who has some facility. I think he says it's under Ravencroft or something. And they're alluding to a test subject. And it turns out to be Bullseye, which we saw in the 2-part Inferno story from a few issues ago now. But now we're getting a little more focus on him. He just kind of showed up with a few other villains, but now we get full-on Bullseye coming up, who's the guy that Daredevil throws down with. I'm really excited about that. Kingpin says he's finally going to get a Bullseye that he can control, because Bullseye's an assassin, but he's crazy too, and Kingpin has always had trouble controlling Bullseye. They betray each other a lot. And I really like that, because it was like, there's all these supporting characters in this book right now, but all of it's good. All of it's written so well. And it doesn't take away from what's happening with Matt and Elektra right now. You got 2 pages, just 2 pages dedicated to Izzy and Butch. You got 3 pages to Mike and Butch, and 3 is as much as I'd be willing to go, and that's what he did. Got 2 pages to Kingpin, and then bam, back to the prison. So it's just incredibly well balanced. It's, you know, when you have these characters that are going to be important in the long-form storytelling, that's the kind of pace you want to do. He's throwing down with these guys. He's not looking too good. There's a lot of guards. He was still probably slowed down from the poison. This big guy just breaks 2 of his ribs right there. Matt, anyone else would just get punched in the chest and be like, ow, but he can feel 2 ribs shattering. He does this bit where he picks up some of the weights by the lifting bar, and then he just flings the weight at him. And I was under the impression they always welded the weights onto the bar in prison so that stuff like this couldn't happen. But whatever, it happened. Took that guy out, but this guy's got a knife. He shanks Daredevil. Daredevil's got some prison cred. He just got shanked in the prison yard. And so he goes down. He's kind of a Rocky 3 moment. He punches him and gets stabbed at the same time. And his heightened hearing, he says he hears on the phone that the warden says it's done. Daredevil's dead. Really, really good picture right here. Really awesome coloring job. It's not easy to make it look good with puddles, with rain and puddles. Also at this angle, it's just really good art. I love it. I loved basically every page of this book. Highly recommend it. If you haven't jumped on this Daredevil series, I really recommend you do it now. It feels like it's something special. This Daredevil series is awesome. Ooh, I just realized that right here on the wall, they kind of blocked it with the Daredevil title, but right here on the wall is looks like graffiti of, it's like Daredevil's head. You know, nice touch, Marco Checchetto. Yeah, really great stuff. I highly recommend you jump on this. This is, you know, not all hope is lost for comics. Not all hope is lost for Marvel. There is good stuff there. Not all of it's bad. There's a lot that's good. Daredevil's one of them. Daredevil, you know, Venom, Star Wars Bounty Hunters. There's some good books. I like to think I'm reading the good books. But I highly recommend it. It's pretty awesome. Daredevil has always been basically the best B-lister over at Marvel. And this is definitely more reasons why. It's going to go down in history as a really great run by a really great team. I highly recommend you come on board and be a part of this series. Go back, and if you're interested in the story leading up to this point and then going forward, go back and buy the back issues. They're there too. Really great series. Highly recommend. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel. You never know what I'm going to review next. Spoiler, it's going to be a good one. Maybe music again. So subscribe to the channel. Please comment below, because I really love receiving comments of you guys saying what you liked about this comic, or saying that you disagree with me. If you disagree with me, I'd love to hear why. I'd love to hear a reason, actually, of why you think this series is overrated and I'm just blowing hot air. So thank you very much for checking out this video. Talk to you later. Bye.